So even just how bad is your sensitivity? I can freaking feel energy from clothes that I that I put on the day before. It is that bad, okay? Let's say the day before that I felt bad and or I was, for example, very hyperactive or way too high my energy, and then next day I put on those same pants. Um, I can feel that. I feel that coming over me. When I meet someone new, I shake their hand. I feel like, how do you say that? Transmission of energy between both sides. I feel that shit. Can you imagine what's like with this kind of sensitivity to drink coffee? It's like drugs to me. Like, oh man, I wish I could explain. I used to always explain it, in my teenage years as being immortal, like for a day and a half, because it's not like I wouldn't sleep, but I would sleep like 3 or 4 hours. Like it's really, I couldn't sleep anymore, and that energy would stay with me for a day and a half. And I never knew what's up. Everybody was like, well, that must be a placebo. And um, I can imagine, because no one has that thing with coffee. It's like no one can really relate to that in that manner, because they drink coffee and for them it's just, oh, a little bit better. And then for me, it stays in my system for like a day and a half, and it gets me like godly powers and stuff, because I feel like I can do everything, and but it doesn't stop anymore. And that's also the hard part for me about it, right? So I asked a person one time, like, and she was like clairvoyant and stuff. What the fuck is up with me and coffee? Like, it absolutely is normal. And basically, what it came down to, and this is the only explanation that ever made sense to me, is that it wasn't in my body well enough. So, and that makes perfect sense to me. And now, because when I started my spiritual journey and stuff, I noticed after 3 years, I could for the first time actually drink coffee without having bad side effects and stuff. And I'm still a little careful with it. Uh, it's it's less heavy as and grandiose as it used to be, but like the energy paths and my legs and like pretty much everywhere, they were so like shut off and very very tense, all of it. So when you then have like amplifying energy and it cannot go anywhere, it will just kind of stay there until it can go via the I don't know, small few exits that actually were there. And that made perfect sense for me. That's also not how she explained it. It was much more simple, but this is really then with my own added experience to it, like what it's like. And now that I'm much more grounded, much more in my body and stuff, I feel the difference. Like I can handle coffee quite like a normal person. I would say. Uh, but then there's this thing with the sensitivity to just go into psych wards and stuff, and people, the trauma they bear them with them, because they all have that. You just uh, I don't believe this disorders just you're born with those. I really believe it's a trauma response in a deep energetic manner, and that creates little things in the psyche. And it does, because I started noticing at some point that people with the same disorders had like really typical, usually the same type of traumas or the same coping to traumas. And anyway, walking in a building with that kind of sensitivity is huge. I was not able to stay with myself for for any bit, and I could also kind of get like that effect, and just I wasn't with myself too much, so I could be very hyper and happy and stuff, but I would be kind of losing myself down here. So I would be happy and energetic and stuff, but I wasn't really with myself, and because of that, like I'm even more sensitive to like the energy of others. And even when you say the energy of other people, like what do you mean? And because it's so vague to other people, right? What that does mean, and for me, it's man. Sometimes I can feel something literally pulling positivity out of me. It is literally a thing, but it can also be sadness or like a lot of tension, because when you are more relaxed and energy can go away better. Then also sometimes you get tension from other people to train. And that happened to me a lot. And it might be especially different for every person, but for me, it's been really extreme. Doing the work that I do, I love people. I also kind of love the mentality and how they are, but it is extreme for me. And um, what is even more extreme is that these people would feel that I could, sometimes would absorb energy from them. Also because I was more clean than other coworkers, so that naturally, um, when you have a very white blanket, it gets stained more easily as well. Would absorb more than other coworkers. They would, people who are particularly sensitive to that, but because there's people who are actually watching that, and they will throw more of that stuff your way. My ex was one of those persons, and uh, you know when you're really traumatized, you can start having behaviors like this. Like you have too much shit to get rid of, basically, and you sometimes will just seek out persons to just like fucking dump it on. And I'm sure that last part may be recognizable for a few people at least. And I'm not talking too much about energy and stuff, but these things are real, and I'm so sensitive that I cannot live around it. A lot of people don't have that, so they have on the other side that they don't have any need to go into sensitivity and what is that stuff, and they can live their whole life without actually needing to do anything with that. That's also fine. But I'm so sensitive, so I have to do something with it all day. Uh, in a manner that's not always, like fascinating for me. But it does teach me a lot about how these things work, And I have no other way of going around it, so I have to get good, basically. I have to get better at it. I have to get better at it, basically. And for me, this is also kind of a healing journey, and also embracing it with making these videos, be like, oh, instead of I need to be like a normal person more and more and just need to ground much better, whatever. I'm just gonna take vlogs about, my crazy spiritual sensitive life, which is, which is a good way of healing for me as well in this, and just more embracing of who I am. It's not like it's getting better every year because I am working on that. And how do you work on that? Well, just basically get more grounded and down to earth and figure yourself out for however you work. Like, you've got your own manual, everyone does, and I need to find my way in this. And it's slow, it takes effort, but every year it's getting better. And it comes with lots of experiences. And working in heavy psych wards, when you have this type of sensitivity, you need, like, I needed to do something with that to survive in those places, because even though I love my job, the more like developed I would become in this area, also the more open I would come. And I couldn't survive that. I had to do something with that in my life, and ignoring it, what a lot of people will tell you who are not into sensitive and spirituality, is not working, and it's killing. It really is, because you're basically saying, I am a different person now. No, be true to who you really are. And for me, it's that. And it doesn't work any other way for me. So I had to do all these bullshitty things, and I get better with it. So it's been a fascinating journey. But yeah, I have that with handshakes from people, and freaking coffee, and freaking putting on clothes from the day before, which is like, oh fuck, I was I was like, I like that the day before, right? And now I feel chill, and now I don't anymore. So that's good. So it is a bit unnatural for me, all of it, because it's quite extreme. I don't know anyone that I've met with with my sensitivity, and I really had to find a way to heal that and deal with it. And it's a journey. It's never ending. and it's good. I'm starting to love it more and more, actually, because I just get more of myself. And also with these vlogs I make, it's like, oh, I'm just freaking sensitive, and well, isn't that fascinating? I'm just gonna make videos about how crazy my life is, because I talk with my dad a lot, and he's also into spirituality, and he understands a lot of these things. But with a lot of things lately, he's also like, yeah, I cannot relate. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot relate. And I'm like, yeah, I fully don't need you to like, I will be sorry for you. That's been good. Maybe I'll make a video of me drinking coffee. We'll see. And see you all in the next video. Hit the subscribe button here somewhere. And ciao, ciao. Have a good day.